I'll just give you a brief rundown of how I organised the Seniors Computing Club in Walpole. Obviously, we've got a small population, the same as all of you, probably smaller, and it's only a portion of that population that is actually senior and also wants to learn anything that's technologically connected. And they were looking for something a little bit more social, less sort of compelling that you have to. Then we joined ASCA and I became aware of the learning resources that they had there. And I had a group of about 10 to 15 people. And we started off the Seniors Computer Club and had a sort of an orientation afternoon. And then after that, we had this 10-year journey. They continued and we just went on this journey together. Basically, we started off with typing tutorials, upskilled with their keyboard knowledge. And then we went on to the basics, like Intro to Computing, so we did all the formatting. And once they'd sort of got some skills under their belt, especially with Microsoft Publisher, we did basic things like bookmarks and cards and that. But the whole idea was to teach them a broad range of skills that they could put into projects for themselves. And it takes it a little bit further than learning just for the sake of learning. So we went on to, they dragged out all these old photos. They could scan slides, negatives and photos. So there were lots of photos that they dragged in that they hadn't seen for umpteen zillion years, and they were about centimetres by 3 centimetres, black and white. And, you know, they'd never seen them scanned and enlarged, and just that took weeks, just learning, getting right on top of scanning aspects. You know, just a little bit of basic tweaking of the photos, editing. And then we went on to things like Microsoft Photo Story, PowerPoint, and we were able to instill in them a real thirst for learning. Also, they did Movie Maker, and sometimes what they've done is make their own projects. Like for grandchild's 21st birthday, they would make a photographic display on PowerPoint. But then along came the extra tools, I guess, the programs, where you could convert a PowerPoint into a movie. It's been an incredible journey for these people. We taught them to do calendars in the Publisher. And then there was, you know, obviously things like Facebook. We taught them Facebook and Skype, and each of them got an email address. So there was one lady that we had whose granddaughter went to live in the US with her parents. And this lady in Wilcox taught her granddaughter how to crochet over Skype. And it's, you know, things like that. It's just sort of a little bit out of the box. You don't realise that, you know, the possibilities, and the folk just get so much thrills out of actually doing something practical with the skills that they learn. Some of them went on. There was one lady who used to be in the RAAF during the Second World War, and she was a telegrapher, so she already had learned how to type. And she was of pioneering stock in Walpole, and she decided to write her life story. So she then went on, she made notes, and she went on and she typed her life story, and the CRC produced the book. And took her 2 years to do it, but it gave her a real thrill to actually have it finished by about November. And she printed originally 25 copies, and she gave it to all the family for Christmas. And you know, lots of them had never heard all the background story of when she was a girl, and you know, riding horses to school and things like that. So it was really good to actually document the history, as well as, you know, she had a bit of a flair for writing. So quite a few actually wrote their life stories, and our seniors learned all about putting things together like the funeral program. I know a lot of people think, oh God, you know, seniors, death and dying, but it's actually an interesting topic that for these older ones, you know, it took a bit of selling, but it allows them to take control of their, you know, what happens to the photos, and they can have a hand in doing the recording of their life history, because we better knows it than they themselves. So that's a funeral program. Where am I? That's a funeral program, and you know they're all colour coordinated and the photos, everything. And so the seniors learned all of that. That's how we put the PowerPoint together and put it together as in a DVD at the end, and the family gets to keep this. So a lot of the ladies in the Seniors Computer Club, they did in advance their own. And they were a little bit hesitant, as I said at first, but they went on, and already, I shouldn't say already, but 2 of the ladies have passed away, and the eulogies that they produced for themselves were played at their funeral. And I think really it showed everyone else the benefits of learning technology when you get older, because it's just gives that added dimension, reason for learning. With Be Connected, it's fairly basic, and once you've whizzed them through that, you know, if you're not already an ASCA member, I would encourage you to join ASCA. At the moment, there's because of Be Connected being free lessons, ASCA has decided to waive the first year's membership for all clubs joining that have got less than 20 members. There's every reason to join ASCA, looking for something a bit more. You've then got access to the ASCA tutorials by being a member club of ASCA.
On the ASCA site, they've put together, or the directors put together, this program, and it's sort of based on what I was talking about. It's called Share the Shoebox, and it gives all hints and tips on how to get the people to get under their bed and drag their shoebox full of photos out, and how they can do practical things with the photos. A lot of people too were members of the RSL, and they were able to do whole presentations for Anzac Day or Remembrance Day out of their old photos. And you know, it's skills that they didn't have before that they can contribute to organisations that they're members with. And even with the basic typing and the layout through WordPad, inserting a photo, or you know, typing a letter, even a proper layout of a correctly laid out letter to a government department or a business, that's a skill in itself. And you know, it just empowered them to go on and do other things. And by the typing with the typing tutor and the layout of the formatting of the font and the centre and all the other things that you can do pretty basically in WordPad, a lot of them then went on and they contributed to community groups, and there's 2 of them of ours who are secretaries of community groups, and that's a position that they would never ever have volunteered to do had they not come through Seniors Computing. So it has this flow-on effect, and you just sort of got to get them in the door. That's the trick, and make it as exciting as you possibly can while they're there. Obviously, that's why I'm here, working my little buns off for ASCA and spreading the word out there of just what resources are available to engage the older people. Because, you know, there's a limit to how many games of Scrabble everybody wants to play. You know, Be Connected has got some good online self-paced lessons. Some might really think of technology in the way of emails and not so much on the practical side. So the Be Connected's just put out 2 or 3 new tutorials for emails. Okay. And they're developing new ones all the time. But the trick is to get them signed up to be connected and put them through a few of the perhaps easier ones just to whet their appetite, and then they can do some more Be Connected, a bit of ASCA and a bit of what they want, rather than forcing the learning thing down them all the time.
If there are no further questions, thank you, Jen. You've been inspirational as usual.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
it's a wealth of knowledge. So if you're getting stuck for ideas or whatever, sing out.
Don't hesitate to give me a call, email, whatever, on anything specific. Yes.
Yeah. Excellent.
Thanks very much, everyone. Nice to meet you all.